Hey, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to tell you the story of my acid reflux so that later on we can talk about how to solve it. It started basically when I was still a teenager. I had constant postnasal drip, I had a chronic cough, I kept having sinus problems, and I was put onto a bunch of courses of antibiotics. At one point I did probably 6 courses in a row. The doctors just thought, oh, well, we'll just give you more antibiotics and that'll heal you. Obviously, that didn't really work, but eventually I would kind of feel a little bit better, and that would be that. A few years later, I finally stopped eating dairy, and I never had another sinus infection again. That was a major improvement, but I still had this chronic cough, and I always had postnasal drip. I do have seasonal allergies, so sometimes it was that, but it just wouldn't really go away. Somewhere in my 20s, I had a job that was kind of stressing me out, and just like I generally wasn't managing my stress very well. I got a little bit sick for about 2 days, and then I just started losing my voice really badly. I went to an ENT, like an ear, nose, throat doctor, and he was just like, well, your vocal cords are really inflamed. Here's some antibiotics. And that didn't really improve the problem, so I went back to him. He had another look at my vocal cords, because I was just like, I'm getting really hoarse, it really hurts to speak. I can feel myself breathing even, like, it doesn't feel good. And he's just like, well, they're just really inflamed, they're all red. I don't know what to do for you. So he consults with another ENT, and basically that's the conclusion they come to. There's nothing they can really do. I just have to wait it out until my voice gets better. I wait, and I'm trying to make it better through various kind of natural means, and nothing really works. Some things soothe it a little bit, but I just don't really get better. At some point, I lose my voice pretty badly, and I finally just figure out there are such things as voice doctors. So I go to a specialist voice doctor. He puts me on omeprazole, and I get better in 2 weeks. Like, I went from basically not being able to talk at all to, like, I had this terrible whisper, and then I could mostly speak. Like, my friends could hear me now. I didn't have to like whisper to them when we're out somewhere and then have them tell everyone else. Like, so basically it seemed to solve the problem, but that was still kind of the beginning. So the omeprazole seemed to solve the problem mostly, but I was still hoarse, like, all the time. But just, I could speak now instead of whisper, but I was still really hoarse. So I'm on the omeprazole for a year, and I'm just kind of getting worse and worse. And I have intermittent visits with my voice doctor, and eventually it gets bad enough, and I'm just refluxing kind of all the time now. In the beginning it was silent reflux. I couldn't really tell that reflux was the problem. I didn't have heartburn. I just had all these like kind of voice and sinus symptoms. But after I'd been on the omeprazole for a while, I have full-blown acid reflux all the time. I can feel it in my throat, like I've propped up my bed, I've done all kinds of things, like some natural remedies, and it's just like getting worse. So he puts me on a double dose of the omeprazole. I'm on 80 milligrams of omeprazole, and my voice doctor has told me that's the maximum dose and you're on this for life. But I'm still getting worse. All the time, I'm just getting worse and worse. And as time goes on, I'm losing my voice again. I'm not sleeping very well. I can't speak anymore. I'm back to like this weird whisper talking thing because I can't really get my voice out. I'm refluxing up to here almost all day, every day. Like, it's gone from the silent reflux to full-blown acid reflux all day. But like, I have just like tension all over the top of my body. I'm just like, I'm getting so bad, and all the same symptoms like the postnasal drip and stuff, those are all back too. It just gets really, really bad. I can't really like speak all the time. So a lot of these different phases of this omeprazole solution, I can't really hold a job. Like, I can't talk to my friends. We can't go anywhere noisy because they can't hear me when I'm talking, or I have to whisper to people. I had kind of a little bit of anxiety before, but it just gets really out of hand. I'm like having panic attacks all the time now. And I'm constantly worried. Every time I eat something, it makes it worse, or if I don't eat, it makes it worse. Like, there's nothing I can really do to make it better. Once I was on a high dose of omeprazole, my voice doctor referred me to a GI doctor to see if I was a good candidate for surgical options. And basically, because I'm young, because I'm not overweight, and because the surgery actually isn't all that effective, she thought I shouldn't do it. Basically, not only am I not a good candidate, but this really highly regarded surgeon, like GI surgeon, who does these voice surgeries, doesn't think that they're actually a very good option at all. She says it doesn't really work for most people. It's like, it's the last option, but it's still not a good option. You don't stand a much better chance at actually getting rid of your reflux by doing it than by doing nothing at all. My mom's a nurse, and her opinion was maybe if I waited like 5 years, there would be some other kind of option, and until then I would just suffer and not have a voice. So I decided not to have surgery, but basically that meant that there's nothing else any of these doctors could do for me. They're all specialists. They're all extremely highly regarded, and they just don't have any other options. They don't have any other even suggestions of what I could do. So I go traveling, and I'm just getting worse and worse and worse. And eventually, I just have acid in my throat. Like, I can feel it. I'm regurgitating, basically, to here all day, every day. And I can't make it stop. And I just realized that eventually, if you reflux that hard for so long, you're gonna get esophageal cancer. And then once you're sentenced with that, like, you die in a couple of months. So I just like take a really serious think about it, and I decide, well, I'll just do like the last thing on my bucket list, like my ultimate, like I'm gonna go on this hike, it's gonna be really great. So I do that, I go on this hike, and it's great, but I get way worse because I'm eating wheat, I'm eating spicy things, but I'm not eating all these other things. It just doesn't matter. I've tried going on and off of my omeprazole a couple different times, replacing it with diet, like no, I didn't find anything that actually worked. And I get even more stressed, and the pressure from carrying the backpack, I just basically completely lose my voice again, and I'm just in like a really bad state. So I just come home, I'm a mess, and I decide that I'm gonna stay at my mom's house, do research, and just figure out every single thing I can do to cure my reflux, and do it all at once, because I'm at the absolute end of the line. I can't get a job. I can't even like speak enough to travel comfortably anymore. I can't really do much of anything. So there's nothing left. I just decide to sit at my mom's, figure this thing out, and do absolutely everything in my power to fix it, because I don't have any other option.